Stop blending your drawing, it's ruining your progress. Every artist grabs a blending stump thinking, oh, it's the proper way to shade. It's really not. The real skill is learning how to blend with your hand. Yes, your hand. Look, I spent 10 years practicing and perfecting shading to get the best, smoothest shading I ever can get. And when I tell you shading with the pressure of your hand versus shading with the pressure of a blending tool, you would think the blending tool would be better. It's not. It really isn't. It might be a shock for you to hear, but this is the truth. By the end of this video, you'll know how to blend smoother than Michael Jackson's moonwalk. This is really easier than what it sounds. I don't usually do scripts, but I had to pull up a script because I wanted my intro to sound really good. And hopefully it did that. If you don't know who I am, my name is Michael. I'm an artist. I love to draw. I love to create. And I'm here to help you, to teach you. Any videos that I make, it will help you grow as an artist. So make sure you subscribe and stick around because this is me. This is who I am. And guess what? I'm pretty talented at it. And it is freezing. I need this hoodie on right now. Please excuse this mess behind me. My art studio tends to always end up like this because we're artists, right? Way better. It's freezing in here. Wait, I just woke up. I still got a shower. Let me go do that. Here's the thing, you don't need those external blending tools to create smooth textures. I know we were taught in art class that we need to use like a blending stump, a cloth, a Q-tip, a cotton ball. You can throw all that in the trash. You don't need any of those things. It's like riding a bike. That sounds like an old person. They always start off a lesson saying it's always like riding a bike. Can you ride a straight line, like a perfect straight line with a bike? Maybe, maybe not. But if you had training wheels, it would be a lot easier to get there. That's like those blending tools. It's kind of like a cheat code, but it's not cheating. It's just that you can do better. You can enhance your actual hand skills with just your tool you're using, like your pencil, your pen, your colored pencil. You don't have to blend everything. Now that I've been on both sides using blending tools for most of my drawing journey and then switching to not using them, I honestly just feel better at it. Like I just feel better at shading. It becomes so much easier than relying on extra things. Sometimes you don't even have those tools to use. All you have is your pencil and your sketchbook. That's why it's always good to know how to do it with just the pressure of your hand and building those hand skills. When I'm talking about blending tools, I'm not just talking about those drawing stump or the cloths or the cotton balls. I'm also talking about your fingers. That got on my nerves so much. When I see other people use their fingers to blend, that's nasty because you have oils all on your fingers. You're not gonna get smooth blending at all. It's just gonna look chaotic. It's not going to look clean. And that's the other thing about these tools as well. You're using these tools to create smooth skin texture, but there's a technique to it. There's a way to properly use it or to get the best results. You're probably not using it to get the best results. And there's nothing wrong with learning how to do that. You just grow a lot more knowing how to do it with just the tool you have. Let me go to the art studio so we can start this tutorial. We're back in the studio, of course. Now I'm going to show you why blending with your hand only, with your tool only, is really important. I blend my drawings with my hand. You should know this by now because this whole intro I've been talking about how blending with your hand is super important. And you can see that these drawings are smooth. It's possible to get these smooth textures with just the power of the hand alone, not a cloth in your hand, the tool in your hand. The main thing is about pressure. Without control of the pressure, your blending is not gonna be consistent. It's not gonna be smooth. It's just gonna look crazy, real crazy. The people are gonna start talking about you on the internet. You don't want that, and I don't want that. I'm gonna show you how to do this with just your hand. Here's an example of using a ballpoint pen to blend smoothly with just my hand. I didn't use any blending tools, just the pen and the pressure of the paper. This is also another example using graphite. This is actually mechanical pencil. Very cheap, very affordable. You don't need the fanciest pencils, right? Or you don't even need the fanciest pens. You just need to know how to blend smooth with the tool. And this is another example right here. I'm gonna start by saying that this is not a hate campaign towards blending tools. There's nothing really wrong with using them. I just feel like a lot of artists, they get stuck and they don't grow because they rely on these things way too much. But not you, right? You wanna grow. Remember, you have to believe you can do this. You can. If you could blend with a blending tool, you can blend with any tool. Pressure. More pressure to the paper, obviously. Darker lines. Less pressure to the paper, obviously. Lighter lines. And you're probably thinking, wow, this is not smooth at all. What is this? These lines are separate. You can see the negative space. That's not the smooth texture I'm talking about. Just wait. Yes, the first key is obviously light pressure, like this. But then what's the second? The second is layering. Layering is basically just making all the lines blend into one another. So if I were to do the same thing right here using light pressure, you don't want to use heavy pressure. Let's do it right here. Light pressure. Now this looks similar to this, but if we go over it many times, it becomes smoother. You see less of the negative space, you see less of that whiteness of the paper. So let's do it again. Whoa. You see how smooth this is getting? If I even layer more, it's going to become a lot smoother too. I'm also applying the same amount of pressure the whole entire time. Ooh, this is clean, very smooth shading. And I do impress myself sometimes, so forgive me. This is something that you should do and stop using those blending tools. And you're probably thinking, why not just use the blending tools? They're a lot faster to use. Takes me a while, it looks like. No. Although a blending tool might be faster to use, you won't really grow your technical skills, build that muscle memory in your hand with those blending tools. The key is to build muscle memory. When you first start learning how to draw, you don't really know what you're doing. You're drawing stick figures. It doesn't look great. But the more you draw, the more you get better because you understand the pressure to apply. You understand how to shade better. You understand how to manipulate line weight. And the same thing goes for shading. You need to understand how to use shading with your pencil, pen, your hand alone, instead of just these blending tools. Now I could take this cloth and blend this, right? You're still gonna get a smooth effect. But the whole point here is to grow and learn how to blend better. This is the same technique as this drawing right here. You see how smooth this shading is? That's just me using my hand once again. And I also have another drawing right over here that is actually really smooth. This whole portrait, I didn't use any blending tools. I just used the pressure of my hand, the layering, and those are the results I got. This is what I got from this. I'm so glad I decided just to hone in on this practice because I just feel like I get better and better every time I shade. And that's what you want. It's like freehanding. You can use the grid method, which is kind of a way to help you get there a lot faster, or you can freehand, which I do, because I wanted a challenge, I want to get better. It's like bowling. You can just use the lanes itself, or you can use the bumpers. Which one do you choose? Honestly, I'm gonna choose just the lane. I'm not using no bumpers, right? I'm not a kid. I'm not that new at bowling. I know what I'm doing. The person who doesn't use the bumpers are more skilled than the person who does use the bumpers, theoretically. So why not learn how to shade with just the pressure of your hand and not the pressure of a blending stump or just any blending tool? This drawing right here is also another example of me not using any blending tools. As you can see, I'm just sketching using the pressure of my hand, using layering to create this smooth texture on this drawing. I didn't spend too much time on it, but you can obviously tell that it's clean, it's cohesive, the shading is clean as well. Now I was going for a messier look, but still, it's still a smooth, clean drawing. You can't go wrong with learning how to blend with your hand. This is another example of a pen drawing. I'm not a big fan of this one, that's why I don't show it at all. I did this in 2022, I believe, and this is what it looks like. Although I'm not a fan of it, it is still pretty clean. The shading is smooth, especially on the skin. Do you see that smooth shading? Even the background, I didn't even use any blending tools for this background. Moving on to a drawing I am more proud of. I did this in 2023, I believe. Yes, in undergrad. This is a portrait of Chadwick Boseman, the great delayed Chadwick Boseman. And as you can see, the shading is super smooth on this one. No blending tools, just the pressure of my hand and layering. Now I can blend anything, literally. And I'm not trying to brag, but I can literally blend anything with the pressure of my hand and just the tool alone. You don't need training wheels. It's good to have one in the beginning, because trust me, I did. I created some sketchy drawings with just the blending stump. But you don't have to always rely on that. You can let it go, set it free, set yourself free. Please set yourself free, please. Moving on to blending with pencil. Where's my pencil? Oh my God, bro. Found it. Just like the pen tutorial, it's the same exact thing with the pencil. Literally, the more pressure you apply with the pencil, the darker your lines. The less pressure apply, the lighter the lines. You see how similar these two things are? You don't want to apply a lot of pressure if you're trying to blend smooth with just the tool. You want to apply little pressure, just like with the pen. And just like with the pen, you also want to layer, like so. So smooth, so cohesive. And this is just hatching. With pencil, you have more options when it comes to just blending smooth textures. You can do a scribbling technique like so. And I will admit, I start off by hatching and then I go over using scribbling technique for my drawings, portrait drawings, like this with graphite. You see? You can kind of see some of the lines, but I do eventually scribble onto the paper. Like I said, there's really nothing wrong with using blending tools. I just don't want you to use them for the whole drawing. I will admit, I do use like a paper towel or something to blend my initial shading, but I always go over it with using hatching, cross hatching, just blending with the tool itself and not using those blending tools again. Experiment, try new things. Don't be afraid to attempt this, because I know as an artist, it could be scary, it could be terrifying, starting something new and messing up on it. There's a crazy thing we just have of just the fear of messing up and being perfect. Your drawings aren't gonna be perfect. I thought my drawings was gonna be perfect one day. Although they might be perfect to other people, to me, they're still not perfect. You're always gonna see flaws, you're always gonna see mistakes. So stop being a crybaby and just go at it, try it out, see if it works for yourself. You will grow eventually. I know we have all these negative thoughts. You will grow. I was in your shoes before. I didn't ever think I was gonna get to this level or build a platform I do have. It's scary, it really is. But the best thing about fear is conquering it, is facing it in the face. You watching are probably afraid of public speaking. And I don't know why this is a random thought in my head. It is true though. We're all pretty much afraid of public speaking. I had to speak in front of a class of 30 people, which is not a crazy number if you think about it, but I had to give a whole lecture to my classmates, which were 30 people in class. I had to stand in front of the podium, give my presentation, and I was shaking in my boots for the first minute. It was only a minute. After I slowed down my breathing, I took my time, I got over that fear. It wasn't so bad after all. Same with anything else you do. If you're scared of using a pen for the first time, take a deep breath and then go at it, start drawing. If you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. You didn't fail anything. You're still here. Do it again and again and again and again until you get better. You gotta man up or lady up and just do it. Just do it. Now I see why Nike uses that slogan. Look, if you want to be better at drawing, if you want to grow as an artist, this is the channel for you. I'm your friend to help you, right? I'm the guy that you go up to asking, how do you do this? How do you create that? How do I get my drawing to look like this? I'm your person. If you like content like this, subscribe. Why wouldn't you? I mean, look at my art. All right, I'm being conceited. All right, let me stop. I try my best to create amazing art, and you do too. So this is a place for you. This is a place to grow. I don't usually do this, but I do have a Patreon where you can become a member, sign up for free, and I have a lot of exclusive videos on there. You're already on my YouTube. Why not even dive deeper and learn more about what I'm teaching on YouTube? It really doesn't take that long to get better at drawing. Literally, you will get better within a week, in a month, a year. You'll continue to see progress and growth. And it's something you'll have forever. This skill you have forever. I'm gonna have it forever. I built that muscle memory. I know how to do certain things and no one can take that away from me. Unless you like cut off my hands, then yeah, you can take that away from me. But then I'll learn how to draw my foot. This skill is so underrated. And with AI becoming the biggest thing in the world, which will stay the biggest thing in the world, we have to learn how to still practice these traditional skills because people will crave human touch. Human-made things. Why was there AI art in a gallery? That's insane. This is a skill you would never regret. If you forget to give someone a birthday or Christmas gift, draw a portrait of them, draw a flower for them. If you want to make quick cash, do a portrait for a friend, do a portrait for a client. Boom, $300, $500, even $1,000 sometimes, just from a portrait drawing. If you want to impress the ladies, create amazing artwork and they will come up to you and they will start flirting with you. I'm speaking from experience. Same with you ladies. If you're talented at drawing, some guys are going to be really, really impressed with that. Show it off. Don't be afraid to put your work out there. And there is a secret ebook that I do have only for ballpoint pen artists who really, really want to get into it and learn to draw the way I do with the pen. It's called The Secrets to Drawing with a Ballpoint Pen. It's in the bio. You can check that out. Look at the table of contents. It goes from everything from where to get the pen to transitions between shadows and values, how to find correct proportions by using shape to build up your portrait, or any drawing for that matter. This has been a really fun video. I'm gonna keep doing my videos like this. Till next time.